Look at all that water. It's a windy day, and I've never fished this spot before for carp, so I don't know what's gonna happen. The hook bait today is going to be spicy tiger nuts. These are just tiger nuts that are soaking in some hot sauce for a long time. Real spicy, real flavorful. And they're really tough. They stay on the hook really well. Nuisance fish can peck at it all they want, and it is not coming off the hair. That's pretty good for that hair. I just kind of match the bait to the hook size and kind of how long my hair is. I tie these hair rigs myself, so they're not all exactly the same. Some are maybe a couple millimeters longer than the other on the hair loop. There's that one. And this pack bait, I made it yesterday, and then because I was going to go fishing, but then I didn't. But this is oats and boiled feed corn and sweet feed pellets and cream corn. And I'm only throwing out 2 right now because the third line has a hook that's all messed up from, believe it or not, some kayaker hooked one of my lines the other day. Paddling by, hooked one of my lines, and the hook got caught on their kayak, and I just deleted that video because honestly I just didn't want to relive it in the editing process. Probably would have been entertaining for you to watch, but it was a miserable day full of jet skis and kayaks, and just didn't want to relive it. That's what I get for trying to go fishing on Memorial Day weekend. Alright, here it is. 99% rig. Pack bait on a spring feeder. Tiger nuts on a hair rig. I don't know if they're spawning here or not. I'm hoping they're done. We're gonna find out. Not casting out very far, and I just felt it hit the bottom. It's probably only 4 or 5 feet deep there, maybe 30 yards off the bank here. Yeah, here's that goofed up hook. I don't know if I've ever had a hook bend out like that before. Bend in, I guess. Whatever. Decided to go back to just using a piece of foam to keep my hair rigs organized. Tackle buddy thing works okay, but it's done. I'm back to foam. I know they make fancy rig wallets that you can get that I'm sure they're nice. They look nice, but I just like to keep it simple. I want something that fits in this little box. Everything I need is just in this little box here. Keep it simple. Yeah, this spool is running a little low on line. I guess I better re-spool this line too. I lost a lot of line Memorial Day weekend. Come on, let's go find a place that's not quite as windy. Just moving about 50 yards down the bank here, around the corner, out of the wind a little bit, just past the landfill. There's the landfill. Nice, huh? Yeah, the wind is just getting a little too gusty over there. I think it's gusting around 30 now, and it's just unpleasant to be there, and if it's unpleasant to be out fishing, then what's the point, right? Some action here. Action, action, action. Yes. We have a fish on. Probably is a catfish, is my guess. Where are you at? Oh yeah, you're over here today, because I moved. It's feeling very catfishy. Yes, indeed. Little Charlie Channel cat here. Just about finishing up 3 hours of fishing here, and haven't had any carp action at all. Little channel cat. It's time to move. Well, I just got to the new spot, and unfortunately, look at what I discovered when I get here. Right there's some. I don't know if this camera is going to get it because of the glare. I can see them real good with my polarized lenses on. There's spawning happening here. There's dozens of carp moving around in the shallows right along the bank here. Let me find some more. There's a large fish right there. I don't know if you can pick it up. I hope that camera's getting it. That's a big fish just hanging out right there. They're just kind of moving in and out. Oh, there he goes. Bye-bye. There's a bunch of fish right in this little cove right here. Oh yeah, there's several of them. Yeah, they're right in front of me. Oh, there's a big fish right there. Can you see him? I can see him good with my polarized glasses on. There's a huge fish right there. That is a grass carp too. Anyway, I'm still gonna fish, so let's give it a try. I'm gonna go with some banana flavored corn here at this place today, because there's grass carp in here, and I think grass carp would be more likely to eat some corn than a tiger nut. Lots of splashing going on over there along the bank. That's not where I'm putting my baits. I'm trying to catch some fish that are maybe off away from the active spawning action. Hopefully it works out. My rig felt like it was getting hit by bass and bluegill and stuff as it was sinking. A little bunk, 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 bunk as it was sinking to the bottom. Well, I don't think it's going to happen here today, and I think they're probably spawning at the big lake I was at earlier too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to that shallow lake that I was at where they were spawning 2 weeks ago. They were spawning in that lake 2 weeks ago. They should be done by now, so I'm going to head over to that lake and give it a shot, but that is going to be tomorrow, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm just getting baited up here using yesterday's bait. It's about 9:30 in the morning, and it's gonna be a nice day. High of like 77, sunshine, and not a cloud in the sky. A nice day. Whether or not it's a nice day for fishing, we're about to find out. I haven't seen any spawning activity. I have seen some carp activity, but nothing that looks like spawning, splashing around along the shorelines and stuff like that. That was 2 weeks ago when that was going down here at this lake. So I'm thinking they should be done. We're about to find out. Well, I casted my first bait in and just spooked at least 2 or 3 fish that were right there. So that's a good sign, I think. Lots of overhanging trees here, and got boulders lying in the bank here, so a little bit of treachery happening here as far as casting, and then yeah, bringing in a fish here, climbing around on these boulders will be just add a little adventure to the mix. Oh yeah. Pretty shallow here. Feels like about 3 or 4 feet deep. And like I said yesterday, this is a shallow lake, probably only about 8 feet deep at its maximum. So it's going to warm up faster than these other 2 lakes I were at yesterday that were a little deeper, a little bigger. The water's still a little cool there. Oh man. That when I threw that bait in, there were like 10 swirls in the on the surface. I think there's just carp all over the place in here. This is I'm getting a little excited. And whether those fish were 2 pounds or 20 pounds, that remains to be seen. So in case you're not familiar with carp spawning behavior, the way it works is the water temperature is what cues them and tells them when it's time to spawn. And it kind of varies between the region, you know, what temperature it is, but we're not talking about that. What I'm talking about is just generally speaking, when the water warms up in the spring, that gives them their cue to start their spawning. And so the shallower lakes that warm up faster, the spawn will happen earlier. And the deeper lakes that don't warm up as quickly, that spawn will happen, you know, a few weeks later. And so another thing with their spawning is that they don't have their natural feeding behavior when they're spawning. When they're spawning, that's all, they're just laser sighted on that task, and they don't really do much feeding. They do eat a little bit, I think, but they don't eat as much as they normally do. So fishing for them is difficult. You don't catch many because they're just not feeding very much. They're focused on their mating rituals. So in the early season, shallow lakes like this, the water warms up quicker. The spawn will happen earlier in a shallow lake like this. And so I was here 2 weeks ago, they were spawning. I didn't bother wasting my time fishing here anymore. I went to different lakes that are deeper and the water hasn't warmed up yet, so the fish haven't started spawning yet. So that's the only way I know of to catch fish during the spawn, is just kind of spot hop around to find places where they aren't spawning yet. And then towards the end of the spawn, I do the opposite. You know, right now they're spawning in the deeper lakes, which means there's a good chance that they're all done here in these warmer lakes. So now I'm back here at the warmer lake, trying to catch fish that are done with their spawn and looking to put the feed bag back on. So that's the general idea of how I like to fish for carp in the spawn times. I have caught spawning carp before. I think you can catch fish that are spawning, but in my experience it's not very productive, and kind of find that my time would be better spent doing something else. But I don't know that they're done spawning here for sure. I think they are, but there's really only one way to find out, and so soak some baits. Yeah, as you could probably tell, some people showed up and were there to do some family fishing, and that's good. Good for them. No big whoop. But I like my peace and quiet, so I decided to pick up and move over to a more secluded place. Kind of tough to cast here, but I'll get it done. Really shallow over there, maybe a foot. Gonna be all sidearm casts over here, I think. Probably can't see it on the camera. There's another tree right there, so I'm like, I got about a 10-foot gap between trees here. That'll work. This third one, I'm gonna have to go down there to cast it, walk it back over here. Well, that wasn't great. My bait hit the water at such an angle. It's almost like you're skipping a rock, you know, and I think it did skip a little bit when it hit the water. That's not ideal, but I'll leave it for now. And I was about to make some more bait before those people showed up, so let's go ahead and do that now. Surprise, surprise, old-fashioned oats, sweet feed pellets. I think I'm gonna go peachy today. Sliced peaches, yellow cling peaches in 100% juice. And I love these easy open cans. Whole thing, juice and all. And I'm just gonna kind of mash those peaches up with my hand before I get too into mixing. I'll just kind of smash them, squeeze that juice out of them. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of vanilla too. I don't know why. Just kind of random, you know? I don't think the bait matters that much. What else should I do? Should I do some chili powder? Make it crazy? Should I just do like a everything bait? A little bit of everything in there? We'll just go with peaches and vanilla. Good. Just let that set up. I'm gonna have some lunch. Alright, well I showed you how I made my bait. You wanna see how I make my lunch? In here we have some foliage. That is some lettuce and cucumbers. Looks like I got frozen a little bit in my cooler. And some red onions. And to that I'm going to add some croutons and bacon bits. And then I'm going to add some tuna. That's right, tuna. A lot of people don't like it, but I do. It's good for you. It's good protein. And 2 of these little packs is the equivalent of 1 can of tuna. When I make this for myself at home, I just dump in a whole can of tuna. It's like 30 grams of protein, I think. Next is some dressing. This is some roasted onion vinaigrette that I made myself. I'm liking the homemade salad dressings lately. And of course the fork. There's been quite a few times where I brought a salad for lunch and forgot to bring a fork. And yeah. Break up the tuna, get that mixed up with the dressing. And then I kind of do it like the carp bait. Put the lid back on. And give it a shake. And there we are. Nice, healthy, delicious lunch that is good for me and won't make me feel like crap for the rest of the afternoon after I eat it. I'll feel good. Something happening here. Oh yeah, we're hooked up. This is my 3rd rod that I kind of have in its own little place. I don't know what I got here. It's not fighting very hard. It's kind of letting me pull it in. Oh yeah, it's a carp I just saw. Just saw his yellow lips come up to the top of the water. Been here about 2 hours. Had a few bullheads messing with my lines, but nothing else. Oh yeah. Alright. Yeah, there you go. Now he's waking up. It's real shallow over here. I think this whole bay over here is no more than 2 or 3 feet deep. Oh man, is it a mirror? Come on. Oh, got him. No, it's not a mirror. Thought it was for a second there. Okay, first post-spawn carp. Just a little guy. He was probably one of those little guys that was chasing the big females around when I was here a couple weeks ago. But he bit on the tiger nut. Again, it's been about 2 hours since I got started fishing here, and I've been seeing lots of jumping fish that are around. But you know, I was getting to the point where I was just wanting to catch any fish. And this one fit the bill, that's for sure. Back in the water. All right. Good luck to you, crazy fish. We're getting in the middle of the afternoon now. It's about 2 o'clock, and just washed my hands. The water's noticeably warmer than it was about 3 hours ago when I first got here. So hopefully the bite will start picking up. Jeez. It's like a giant flock of penguins just landed behind me. Not penguins. Pelicans. Correction, these are pelicans, not penguins. I think I said penguins. But they all came splashing down. Kind of startled me. I was like, what in the world was that? There's a lot of them. A lot of penguins. Penguins? Why do I keep saying penguins? A lot of pelicans for a little lake like this. I wonder if they're doing some kind of mating ritual or something here. This seems kind of strange what this tight group of them are doing. Come skiing in. They're really getting into a tight group here. Huh. Crazy penguins. Well, I've got a slack line here. Must have happened just a minute ago when I was looking away. Yep. Fish on, fish on. I got headphones on, but I'm not listening to anything. I just put headphones on to keep the gnats out of my ears. See if I can get this fish in the net without snapping them off. Got him in the net. Also not a mirror, but fun fish nonetheless. I'm really wanting to catch a mirror today. I caught one in this lake last year. I know those chances are slim, but just knowing that they're in here. He got himself off the hook. That's convenient. All right, second fish, a little bit smaller. They're getting smaller. Also not a mirror. I was really hoping to catch a mirror out of this lake this year. I'm gonna keep trying, of course. I caught one in this lake last year, so I know they're in here. Even though the chances are slim, it doesn't hurt to hope. Oh, I got another fish. Another fish. I'm gonna put this guy back in the water real quick. He's nice and lively. There he goes. Let's see what's happening with this. The line is just slack. Yeah, there's nothing on this one. False alarm. That's real. That is real. Just casted that out. Water warming up in the afternoon. The action's picking up. Going down the cliff here. This guy's getting in some branches over here. If I don't hurry up and horse him. You're really trying to get in there. No! Oh, whew. That's pretty amazing. Fish in the net. There you go. Now let it all out. There you go. Okay. Well, this fish has got something strange going on in his tail. Big sore, big lump in the by his anal fin there. You can see it on lump on both sides, and there's some kind of a sore there. I'm not gonna mess with it. It was a good fight on this fish. Almost got me tangled up in some trees. But back in the water. Go tell your grandma to stop by, will ya? See ya. Oh, I just broke the surface out there. Yep. They're just coming one after another now. Trying to get in those trees over there. No, you don't. I'm gonna horse you out of there. You better believe it. Gotcha. Also got a stick. All right. Oh, we've got a fish over there now too. Yes, sir, we do. Yeah, I got a fish on the line over there. Okay. What to do, what to do? I think what I'm gonna do. Alright, got the hook out of that one. I'm gonna leave him in the net. And come over here to my other rod. Grab this rod and let's reel up the slack and see what we got here. Yeah. Just wanted to leave that first fish in the net, and I'll bring this one in and we'll look at them both at the same time. Got him. Got two fish in the net. Two fish in the net. This one's a little bit bigger. Okay, here's the first little guy. And second little guy, he's a little bit bigger. This is probably the big fish of the day. Probably around 5 pounds. He put up a good fight. You know, if the carp are spawning at your favorite lake or reservoir, you're gonna pick up and go to a different lake. They might not be spawning there. You might be able to find some active fish. I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you on the next one. Go ahead. See ya. See you next time.